New hair, who dis? Hello everyone, it's me, just Shawty, in case you didn't know, she blonde today. Yes, honey, had to switch it up on you, switch it up real quick, keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and ring that bell so you'll be notified every time that I post a YouTube video. Now, y'all see right here, new hair and merch, honey. Well, y'all seen this merch before. This is my favorite merch. This is one of my favorite merch shirts. We're gonna go ahead and dive into these TikTok story times. Let's get it.
Allow me to embarrass myself for a second. I was picked on for being gay as a child because I was particularly effeminate. When I was in 4th grade, I was randomly sent to the principal's office by my teacher for no reason, and I just recently found out, 17 years later, that the reason was because she wanted to get rid of me for 10 minutes so she could scream at my 4th grade class for picking on me and calling me gay all the time. I remember that day so vividly because I remember when I got back to the classroom that the table that I was sitting at had been switched away from being with a bunch of kids who had been bullying me to sitting alone with my only 2 friends in my class. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And I never understood or was given an explanation why that happened or why, miraculously, for the last couple of weeks of school, everybody had stopped calling me gay. But I found out recently while grabbing drinks with my childhood best friend and someone who I'm still very, very close with, and one of the 2 people who I was sitting with when I came back from the principal's office, that my teacher had gotten so fed up with me coming to her crying that people were calling me gay that she sent me away so she could set the class straight. Apparently, she screamed at the class that if anybody ever picked on me or called me gay again and she found out, or if they told me why I was sent to the principal's office to get out of the classroom, they would be sent to the principal's office. So shout out to Miss Pitkin from 4th grade for being an ally, but I feel like that context could have explained a lot of the bullying that took place in the future.
Shout out to those green eyes, honey. Like, he knew what to wear. That sweatshirt had the green eyes popping, bruh. Like, I ain't seen green eyes in a long time. Shout out to that teacher. Some teachers, like, they be going above and beyond for kids, honey. It was just like, no, you're not gonna get bullied in my class, like, for something that you can't help, honey. Like, shout out to that teacher, because we had some teachers like that would straight up yell at us. We had a lot of cool teachers in high school, middle school and high school. Now that I'm older, I found out that I had a teacher that slept with a student and he was married and everything. He was one of my favorite teachers. And it was just, when my mom found out, she was like, is this a teacher that, what? This is your teacher? Your favorite teacher? I was like, Mom, bro, Mom. She was like, oh my gosh. And I was just like, exactly. Like, what do you do when you find out your favorite teacher slept with a student, like a minor? Like, what do you do? Sleeps with a minor that's younger than you, his recent student. Like this, I found out this when I was an adult. So think about that. Younger than me as an adult, and also younger than his daughter, who was a year older than me. Also married. Like, that was just so much. He was a cool teacher. Like, I literally took his class because of the reputation of him being the cool teacher. Looking back, he does look like the type. He does look like the type looking back. Now it's just like, oh yeah. But it's just crazy what people will do. It's just like, you throw away your whole life to sleep with a minor, bruh. Like, that's wild. You just messed up your whole reputation because this is a small town. But no. Yeah, it's great to have cool teachers. I went on a tangent. It's great to have cool teachers that got your back. Like, we need allies. No matter who you are, if you're straight or gay, you need allies. People in your circle rooting for you.
Good morning to everyone except for me, I guess. Because I don't know about you, but my girlfriend chose to wake me up on violence today. Is my sweet, sweet girlfriend who I had asked to call me to wake me up this morning because I'm seeing her today. And with our time difference, my 4 a.m. wake up is her end of the day. So she calls me, half asleep. It's 4 a.m. I've had like an hour's sleep. I feel like a zombie. I feel dead. And I said to her, half asleep, kind of like all cutesy, sleepy voice. I'm like, the things I do to see you. Now I would have thought, oh, cute. What does she think? What does she reply? She comes at me with, you're the only one, huh? taken aback in my half asleep self because one, what the fuck, and two, I didn't say that. I'm like, I must have misheard. I'm half asleep. I go, excuse me? She continues, you're the only one putting in the work, huh? Baby, it's 4 a.m. Now, before I get into logistics and set the scene, granted, I appreciate her. She is actually driving for 2 hours and then getting a 3-hour flight to see me today. But one, and I'm going to keep coming back to this, it's 4 a.m. And two, who has thrown water on this gremlin and where is my girlfriend? Now, before this phone call, we absolutely were not making comparisons of who was putting in the work or who was doing what. However, for context, I was off this week. I had 7 days off and I chose to pick up 2 14-hour shifts to fly one of our longest flights to LA and back so that I could see her out there. And do a 2.5-hour drive there and a 2.5-hour back on very little sleep both ways. Plus, throw myself back in time 8 hours so that whilst my alarm went off at 4 o'clock this morning, my goblin alarm, when we land at 10 p.m. tonight, it'll actually be 2 p.m. in the afternoon and I'll have the rest of the day to face. Whilst she has a 2-hour drive and 3 hours on a plane as a passenger. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate that. She's not a traveller, and I know she's been putting in these extra shifts at work. She calls them girlfriend hours. And the funny thing is, we both do this. We both get aggy just before we see each other, because just before we see each other means it's been a while since we've seen each other. I was aggy and snappy with her yesterday. She woke me up on some violence today. I said, babe, what was that about? She said it was because she tried to call me 18 times and she was worried that I wasn't answering, and so I was gonna miss my flight and today wasn't gonna happen. Slight correction, she called me 3 times. 3. Ironically, it's Lesbian Visibility Week, so this is your PSA that if you decide you might want to date women, prepared for the mood swings, the mood changes, the sassiness that you give out to be given right back to you. And when it all dies down, you will be told it was all just because they miss you. Sickening. But equally, she now has to deal with this video, and she just called me and was like, are you going to let it go? And I'm like, no. You woke me up on violence. You're going to deal with violence for the rest of the day, honey. She won't. As soon as I see her, it'll change. But food for thought.
Honey, those days, you remember those days when you travel is long distance? I mean nowadays, even lesbians, it's long distance nowadays. You just be like, I be seeing forums, because you know I have a subreddit, Black Lesbians Only. And it's just people be commenting on there, posting comments on there and being like, hey, is anybody in my city? In my state? Which state should I move to find lesbians? Because everybody's talking this long distance thing. Honestly, I don't really mind. I've done long distance for a long time. Once, a few times in relationships. So yeah, I don't really care about that. But back when it was, and I was a toxic lad, getting an argument, so when we got there, we can make that makeup sex. You know what I'm saying? Makeup sex. But if somebody was coming to me and my partner was coming to me and you had an attitude, you might as well not come. Because I'm not going to be able to let it go. It's like, why? Why did you make drama for me before you came? Like, you know you was coming to see me. And you know I want to be on a good energy. We ain't seen each other in a long time. I want to see you. Like, you had time for me to be mad at you and get over it. But now you about to be in my face, bruh. You know I can't be fake. So I'm going to be mad in real life. And you're going to have to work hard for me. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, but you ain't coming to my house. And we just had an argument. What are we doing? You better get you a hotel? Like, girl, she playing with fire. Like, that's how I know y'all got years in and y'all actually love each other. Because if you was coming to see me and you start a petty fight with me and knowing that I'm not a morning person, like I am sleep deprived, and you getting under my skin, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Conversation got bone. She chose violence, and now she's silenced. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to me and I just woke up, honey, and I only slept an hour. Ooh, that's the only time that I'm not cheery. I'm not a morning person. Do not wait. Well, I'm not a just woke up person. I'm not a morning person, but also if I take a nap in the middle of the day and I wake up or you wake me up, I'm not gonna be nice either. So I'm not a just woke up person. You gotta give me time to wake up and realize, oh, damn.
What would you do if somebody hit on your partner while you were standing right next to them? It's Friday, you know what it is. Welcome back to Fem Talk Friday. So honestly, let's just get straight into this. So my friend Eloise was having a birthday dinner and my lovely handsome girlfriend decided to escort me there. So I'm giddy as fuck. I'm happy because I'm like, okay, not me getting escorted. I was feeling good, I was looking good, but also this was the first time in a long time that I've worn a dress. And I'm someone who doesn't really wear dresses a lot. I'll pop out here and there, but for the most part, it's rare if you catch me wearing a dress. The dinner was at a sushi restaurant that was inside of a mall. Me and Kenny kind of got there early. We were just chilling and hanging around in the mall. So while we were chilling, Kennedy was hyping me up and telling me that I looked good, so they wanted to take some pictures of me. Mind you, I was already feeling uncomfortable because men were being icky. Again, I don't really wear dresses that often, so I'm already feeling like I'm out of my element. So while Kennedy was taking pictures of me, a group of boys walked by. You already know that feeling when you see a group of men about to walk by you. You gotta be on your toes. You kind of gotta be on high alert. When a group of men walk by, you just never know what's gonna happen. So I'm holding my breath, waiting until they completely pass by because my intuition just knew something was gonna happen. As they're about to turn the corner, I hear one of the guys go, "You got this, man, like you got this." I'm not paying them any mind. I'm just doing my thing, taking my pictures. But once I thought that I was all good and that we were in the clear, I see one of the guys come back from around the corner. This man came in tunnel vision. I'm talking about went straight to me, did not look at my partner, did not acknowledge my partner, acted like they didn't even exist. First off, this man was stumbling over his words. And my thing is, if you're gonna come in and act like my partner isn't even there, like this person is invisible, at least come correct. So he introduces himself and he's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "My name's Ocean." So he goes, "Do you stay around here?" And I already knew where this was going, so I just looked at my partner and looked back at him and was like, "This is my girlfriend." This dude was shook. I'm telling you, like, we shook his world. In that moment, it was like Kenny had finally just appeared to him. Like, he finally saw that my girlfriend was right there. And he was just looking at Kenny and looking at me and like, oh, okay, all right. And then he just walked off. Like nothing just happened. This is low-key something that happens so much to us. And I'm sure there's more lesbian couples out here that can also relate. It doesn't cross their mind that two women can be together romantically. We're not always friends, we're not always sisters, we're not always besties. We can also be partners, we can also be dating. And I can't imagine as a mask just being overlooked like that. It's just so crazy to me that some people, when they go to hit on somebody and they see that there's two women together, dating isn't even seen as a possibility. Add that shit, put that shit in your mind.
That's wild to me. The fact that he just walked up, it ain't even the fact that there's a possibility that these females can be together or this can be a relationship. It's the fact that you absolutely just did not acknowledge this person here. I would have pointed that out, like, "Excuse you, there's a person right here, like, you can't talk, you can't see, like, hello." That's wild, friend. I don't know. I get hit on a lot, and that's why I'm just like, I love this hair, but I hate this hair at the same time, because y'all know I just did my hair yesterday. So this new hair is like new. Is like, I've gotten a lot of compliments today, and I've gotten a lot of looks. And I'm used to being looked at, but dang, today this guy came in and it was so crazy because I listen to podcasts at work, so I don't be paying attention. Like, I pay attention, but I'm not paying attention to the chatter because it's a lot of talking sometimes at work, and I just do what I need to do. I go to my job, do what I need to do, and get the freak up out of there. It's a part-time job, so I ain't trying to, do too much. Not doing too much, but I do enough to keep myself busy, because if I don't, I might blow the place up. Because, But anyway, I was doing something, I was bringing something to the front. And he said I was carrying something. He was just like, they got you carrying this? You got this female carrying this? And I'm just like, yeah. Because, you know, I'm in my podcast. I ain't really listening to them. They were just like, oh, yeah. And just smile, you know, being nice, playing nice. And whatever. And I continue doing what I'm doing. And he literally stares at me. Like, at first, it kind of was like, it felt like he wanted to say something else. So I'm just looking at him like, okay, he don't want to say nothing else, so I'm gonna keep on going with about my business. And he just stares so long that after he leaves, my coworker was like, yo, what's up? Was it like, what was that about? That guy was just staring at you creepily. Like, it was a long butt top. He stared at me so long that people started noticing, like, this ninja is staring at her like, what the freak is going on? I'm just like, I'm glad you noticed, because usually people don't notice this stuff that you males do. You males do to us women. And I'm just like, you be making us feel uncomfortable. I need for you to respect me as a person. Like, don't be looking at me like, oh, I need to get her number, I gotta be with her. Like, no, don't do that. So, Fred, yeah, I understand what you're saying, because, you know, I always think about that. I tune into the bullshit. I'd be like, when I see a guy, I just be like, That's why I don't do my makeup at work, because I ain't got time. I'm already getting hit on barefaced it because I woke up like this. Them jeans. My parents made me pretty. So yeah, I would have been on high alert too. And I don't know. Like, my first thought most of the times when I see this about to happen, like that situation about to happen, like a guy is about to hit on me when I didn't ask for that, I automatically, like, the first person is bitch. Like, the first is like, bitch. Like, right off the bat, like, bitch. But it's also like, yo, I'm a really nice person. I'm not gonna let you take me out of my character. I will, like, sometimes I am a bitch because I am a Virgo. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like usually the first thought out of my head. You come at me off so crazy, like, oh, I want to get your number. It's just like, because, you know, what are we doing, you know? So you was good, because if I smelled the BS coming, I would have been like, excuse you. Well, let's try this again. Like, you coming, you nervous? I would have pointed out like, oh, you nervous, sir? Are you nervous, young man? You need me to walk you through this? No, you need to walk away. Like, I would have been, you know, not for it. But Fred, you were nicer than me. Let's just put it like that. You were nicer than me. And it is messed up. But I feel like it's more messed up that they didn't acknowledge your girlfriend's presence. That's a lot messed up to me. Subscribe.